technical stuff. Yeah. So now you got your answer from yesterday, if I had the drone or not.
Indeed. Very, very good, because obviously Henrik obviously has to sign non-disclosure agreements, and even though we are good friends, he does not tell me whether he has the drone. He does not give me any information whatsoever. So yes, he does do the job properly. And I had a suspicion you can always tell the YouTubers that have now got the drone, because they tend to always they tend to used to do the like leak videos.
Exactly.
And obviously if a YouTuber suddenly has one, that you see no leak videos, because of course.
But they are pretty strict about this, and of course I just have this policy. If I sign this agreement, I honor it, because it's very valuable for me in terms of creating content. And I have no doubt that you will keep the secret safe, but it's just a principle. And if I deviate from that, then yeah. So
well, just I think your video was very informative and answered a lot of the questions I think many people would have. Now, just a tiny little plug, if Henrik doesn't mind. My Air 3 comes tomorrow, so I do have to pay for mine. I'm not yet on DJI's Christmas card list, so mine comes tomorrow. But obviously, I will be posting my stuff in due course. And unfortunately, obviously, for UK viewers, one of the major things I would like to test, and one of the best features of this Air 3, is that 5.1 gigahertz frequency for the control. Basically, that is a similar band to what Autel use, and effectively it moves you away from the traditional 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz frequencies, basically meaning, boring everybody, that
go ahead.
You should.
I'm just messing around a little bit with technology here.
Yeah, you should get a much better connection. The only downside, obviously, in the UK, obviously everybody else in sort of EASA states, it's absolutely perfect, and indeed perfect for the US as well. A little bit of a downside here, because where that 5.1 gigahertz frequency should be absolutely fantastic, I cannot fly in a built-up area to really show the benefits of it, due to the classifications here in the UK. But ultimately, yeah, that alone, despite obviously the awesome camera, the much faster drone as well, basically, yeah, that will have a huge effect, especially for all of those that have struggled for signal. And of course, they have addressed the external antenna problem with the obviously the previous DJI RC. However, I must add that I do think some of that was down to the placement of the antennas on the drone. So I think the additional antennas on the controller should help that a little bit further. But really, that's going to give most people a huge advantage when it comes to having a good signal in a built-up area, really.
Yeah, I'm not trying to not pay attention. I'm just trying to get another camera up and rolling here so we can look at the unit.
Just hold it up, it's fine.
So
there we go.
So I just wanted another camera here. So basically we can let's just take a look at it. Let me just adjust this so you can see as much as possible. Also my messy room here. But this is basically the bag that you get. And it's you could say that the bag is it's a tight fit with all the stuff that you put in here. There's not much extra room for accessories and stuff if everything is put in here. So the Mavic 3 Pro bag is basically a better option because it's more roomier. And it goes with this little snip here. And just take that one up. You can see there's the drone. Again, this huge gimbal cover, but it's also a very huge camera. The camera, and it's like I think it's the Mavic 3 Classic. You do this, you can simply just pop off the front here, so like twist it, and then you can put on some of these ND filters that are provided as well.
Always nice little touch.
Yeah, a nice little touch that they were included. At least I don't think they're included in the standard package. No, it's something you need to buy separately, I guess.
I mean, the thing is,
you can tell me.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, the thing is as well is I mean, many people may disagree. This is just my initial thoughts, of course. The price point for this drone, I think it absolutely just takes out the Mavic 3 Classic. Obviously, the Air 3 is better spec. It's lighter. Obviously, you can fly it in more places. Obviously, with it being C1 rather than C2, etc. And I just honestly think that, you know, for what you get, it's faster. Obviously, it's got waypoints, which is absolutely perfect as well. It's a little bit more than what most people wanted it to be when you consider the old Air 2S was, obviously here in the UK, it was 1,100 and nearly 1,200 pounds. This is obviously a bit more money, but you're getting a much better drone, really.
This is I know the sensor is a little bit bigger than the Air 2S, but it is basically a huge upgrade.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You will love the lens compression. The lens compression, I fly around with that all the time because it makes everything look so cool.
Yeah,
and that you don't need to worry about it colliding with anything because it's protected on the sides.
Full obstacle avoidance.
It's really, really nice. And then this one.
Yeah, indeed.
It's a huge battery that's inside.
And what's good as well is obviously you can see that, you know, because it is a physical smaller unit, of course, it's not as heavy as the Mavic 3 series, which of course means because it's not quite as heavy but still powerful, you're not utilizing as much of the battery power just to keep the thing in the air. Yeah, indeed.
To give you an idea.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a huge unit. It's not as small as you think.
No, but the weight wise, there's quite a
weight
difference, which, you know, that couple of 100 grams, obviously the drone has to put itself in the air, and obviously it just makes it a bit more powerful with it being lighter.
You just take the Mini 3 in comparison, just for the sake of it.
Yeah, big difference. Big difference.
That's a big difference. It's like twice the weight.
Yeah, indeed.
Twice the weight. So it's that's definitely
massive. Yeah, I'm really excited to fly it. I'm really excited.
You should, because it flies incredibly well.
Now, obviously,
and I can tell you, I can already reveal you that the next video I'll be putting out is the most nasty active track thing that you will ever see.
Really,
something that is really crazy.
I cannot wait for that. Cannot wait.
and the outcome is actually surprising, I would say. So, okay, let's.
Yeah, go
ahead. I just want to show what else is in the back here. That's this charging hub. And one thing that you need to get used to is that you need to press these on the bottom here to release the battery. Many times just pulled here and couldn't understand why I couldn't get it out, but you need to, I guess this is a good solution. I don't know. There's no really big surprises here. It's it takes these 3 batteries and it charges them sequentially. So it's not,
once again, much better than the Mavic 3 system. Having it all in, absolutely.
So and then there's this one with the antennas and the O4.
So one thing I was interested in your video, actually, I think I may have spotted. So you mentioned about OcuSync 4 and not too sure on the differences right now. I believe it's additional antennas. I think there's 2 additional antennas, so there's 6. And also, one thing I noticed is 1080p feedback at 60 frames per second to the controller, whereas usually it was just 30 frames per second. So I think that's what is covering OcuSync 4.0.
I think I did write it on the video. Actually, I got an.
What did you? Sorry, I may have missed that.
And just to give you an idea why I didn't know anything about it was that this video was shot basically literally days after I got the drone, like 4 weeks ago. And so I didn't know anything about it. I just saw I was visiting my father and I saw it was pretty windy. So I thought,
good
I'm
test.
going to go out and test flight under windy conditions. So that's basically why. So I had to improvise a lot of it, and also it was like, you will see, I kept keep getting this error message on the top that
Yeah.
you can't update the fly safe database and all that stuff. And this is just what to expect when
Yeah,
you
of
fly
course.
with the
Pre-production.
pre-released software.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But one thing that's pretty annoying that I haven't figured out is actually there's only, look at the bottom here. You see there's only the USB-C and then there's the SD card. But there's no additional USB-C slot that will allow you to hook in audio.
That's interesting.
So that's annoying because especially, with content creation, we would like an audio track so we can.
Yeah, nice to plug in a microphone. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we can synchronize everything afterwards. But I haven't, been able to make that work. So that's definitely something that I need to understand how that works. It has 32 gigabyte of internal storage.
Yeah, that should be enough as well, especially if you're using it just for downloading photos, the odd movie, etc.
And screen recordings. They are rarely
recordings.
more than 2 gigabyte or something.
Yeah,
At least then you have to fly for a long, long time.
That's more than enough. Especially as it only records at 1080p as well. That's more than enough, really.
Yeah. Let's just try fire just for the fun of it. There's probably a firmware update now. Imagine. So.
Well, while Henry's just clearing that up, I will say that obviously many of you that are familiar with my channel, I do cover sort of the fly app updates, and I do have my Mini 3 Pro with me. And as much as it's always nice to get new features, I can confirm at this current moment in time, there's nothing really new for this or the Mini 2, which would be nice. But, looking on the DJI website, as much as the drone served absolutely so many people perfectly, I do fear that the Mini 2 is coming to the end of life now, and will obviously be replaced by the Mini 3 standard. But there's a couple of small little things. So if any of you have ever used the app called Lightcut, which is basically DJI's in-app editor, there have been some changes to the product supported. Oh, someone's at my door. So essentially, before it just used to be the Action 2, Action 3, and the Mavic 3. So if you opened up Lightcut on your device and you turned your drone on or your action camera on, it would automatically pair. So rather than going through all around the houses, you could just do it completely independently. So you could download your footage straight to your mobile device for editing within Lightcut. It seems they have now added support for pretty much everything they do, including the Pocket 2, this drone as well, even the Mini 2. So that's quite nice. So if you do use that Lightcut inbuilt editor, there has been some changes to the connectivity and how many products are supported. So that's always quite nice. A nice little update.
Yeah, I actually kind of noticed it the other day because I was just trying to review. I for a long time ago I made like a video about how to use the editor, the built-in editor in the Fly app, and then suddenly everything was changed, so I couldn't really use that tutorial anymore.
So, I mean, not many people don't know because obviously I've always covered the Android phone, but I've actually been using iPhone for nearly a year now. But I still keep my Android phone just for doing testing. And what tends to happen is if you want to use the inbuilt DJI Fly app editor, it now prompts you to just download Lightcut. And then if you try to click create within the DJI Fly app, it will just open up Lightcut automatically now.
Are you capable of saving and reloading projects? Because that was one of the problems with the first one.
It saves it within Lightcut. Yeah, it saves it within Lightcut as a project.
So maybe you can hear it. Can you hear the fan? The fan just kicked in. There's a fan in the Air 3, so it's probably not going to overheat when it's sitting up there on the shelf. So yeah, there's a big, huge update. Yeah, let's just see what this can do. The Air 3, it's a 01000300 added support for taking 48 megapixel photos. Yes. Phew. I kind of thought I forgot to cover that in the videos, but it was not available.
It's a weird situation for somebody like yourself because a lot of these are on sort of launch firmware. So all the features that will be available when the drone launches, as in today, are not actually available for you to test.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But the waypoints were there, and then all the color profiles and all what you could expect, and the active track and all that stuff was there, and APAS 5 was there to use. Maybe they're improving it. I don't know, but it's yeah. Okay, so they're adding a lot of stuff here. You see. Oh, let's show it. Yeah. That's a whole bracket of stuff.
Your
Both
face
for
might
the,
actually be better for that one.
yeah, so it's there's a lot of stuff. There's a section up here that is for the aircraft itself, and then there's for the controller. It's a 1.5 gigabyte update, so that's a pretty huge one. So maybe I just set it here, let it update while we are talking, and maybe it will kill the connection on the stream. So yeah, so I'm happy that you're getting one because it's
I think
I
it's
don't
too
know
much
how
of an
well it will be received.
Yeah, it's too much of an important drone not to, because even though it might be a little bit frustrating here in the UK, when you do actually compare the specifications, for me, it's a more cost-effective drone compared to, like I said, the Mavic 3 Classic, and the fact that most people in the EASA states are going to fly it in more places, it makes sense. Obviously, if you do buy one, that potential recording at a frame rate of 200, you might want to think about getting a big memory card for that one. That's going to take up some space. 4K, yeah. So, yeah,
But you remember the church I went to film? I had to
yeah,
bring the
indeed.
Classic, and when I saw the Pro, the new Mavic 3 Pro coming out, I was very envious on this lens compression, this medium telephoto lens. Of course, I understand the luxury of having this super zoom, but you can basically do with the medium tele with 3 times digital magnification. You can actually get up to 9 times. So it's you're getting pretty close with that if it's just for scouting and just to see out the location. But I was really envious about the look and feel that you can get when you're filming around people with this lens compression. And
Yeah, I'm interested to
now
try
we're
it.
getting that. Now we're getting that with this drone. I know the sensor is a bit smaller than it is in the Pro series in the Classic, but from what I've seen so far, it's a pretty capable drone.
Yeah, well, what's quite interesting is obviously something that I'm planning to do as well. Is just chuck some comparison videos. It's what I've always really done on my channel, because you know me, Henrik. I very rarely form an actual opinion, or push products to people or push my opinions on people. I sort of, and this is for all the viewers that are watching now, I tend to get my kicks, if you wish, from providing equal testing and letting you
Yeah,
judge for
definitely.
yourself. And I was keen to see whether the Air 3 did have waypoints, because that's perfect, because I can just compare it, load the same waypoint on the Mavic 3 Classic, and just let you compare and run the same thing and just see exactly how it goes, really. But I mean, one thing is the wind resistance as well, because this thing is incredible, but it's still just a small lightweight drone. They do get blown about, and especially my old Air 2S, which I have sort of moved on now, so I don't have that for comparison. That thing was phenomenal in the wind. Some of the winds I put that thing up in was just obscene, and it coped perfectly fine, really. So yeah, I think that's a major factor. You want to get the use out of your drone. You don't want it to just be sat there. And with these bigger drones, you sort of get more value out of them, because you can fly them in more places, as in, if you're out in the countryside and, open spaces where it is generally a little bit more windy, they're perfect for this sort of scenario, really.
Yeah, they definitely are. They definitely are, and you can stretch the footage quite far with those with the bigger sensors, and so at least from the Classic that I have up here. Yeah, so maybe we should look at. There's probably a few questions here.
Yeah, well, the way that my screen is set up on the link you've sent me, I can't actually see your screen or any questions. So if anybody's wrote anything, I can't see it yet. So yeah, if you pop them up, we can try and answer
So
them.
maybe you can just open your phone then, if you have your phone
That's
next to you.
that's probably a good idea.
So let's see. Most of them here in the beginning is audio.
Well, at least it works now.
Yeah. Most of them here in the beginning is audio.
At least it works now.
A few funny remarks here. So, yeah. So just addressing basically what you said and tagging along with Marcus. Yeah, it also took me a very, very long time to establish a relationship with DJI to the point where I could actually get products. I've been buying these products for a long time until all of a sudden they wrote me. I actually tried multiple times. I know you have also, Gavin, tried to approach DJI. It doesn't work like that. They need to approach you, and once they do that, then you might get a chance to review a product and get it before release. And then, of course, you need to sign the papers that you don't say anything about it, and it's not everybody that applies to that. That's for sure. Looking at all the leaks.
I think obviously, you know, a big company, a big company are obviously going to, you know, such as DJI, they're going to approach, you know, influencers, they're going to approach YouTubers that have got the highest sub count. I do appreciate that, but the thing is, what you find as well is if you take the amount of views over the course of the year, obviously, yes, you've got some huge guys that do absolutely fantastic, but really beyond, you know, some of these, you know, huge YouTubers, beyond the first video to say that it's here, that's it. That's all you see from them. Whereas obviously people like myself, we continue to help you guys. I mean, I think I've got a video near enough 250k, and it was just helping people how to install the DJI Fly app after it got removed from the Play Store. Do you know what I mean? And you think from that point of view how much value that's added to viewers, because the amount of comments I got saying DJI didn't really help, or I didn't really understand what DJI was asking me to do, and you did, and you got me flying. And you sort of look back and you think, yeah, but even though yes, like I say, I joke about it, I'm not on DJI's Christmas card list. If you look at the support that I give DJI's customers over the course of the year in actually helping them get the best out of their products, you sort of think to yourself, well, maybe they could recognize that, but maybe one day.
I've stopped trying to figure out how it works. I'm just happy that I'm in, and if I can put in a word for you once in a while. I know it's different people that handles your territory.
Yeah, they do.
And the ones I deal with. So that's of course a challenge. But they're pretty cool to work with. I really, it's not every product that I get. It's just I've been lucky over the last year to get my hands on a few of them. But the other problem is that even though I get the product and I have a video ready, I have a very hard time competing with the bigger channels, because once, 3 o'clock, everybody pushes publish. My video ends up in the bottom, below Peter McKinnon, below all the other bigger channels.
And the thing is,
so where I kind of provide value is the continuous videos that I put out about different topics. It's not the launch video.
That's exactly the point I made. You know, you've got Potato Jet, you've got Peter McKinnon. They're just going to post one product, one video, and that's it. And obviously, it's going to be.
That's also why I decided to post the first flight video instead of doing a review, because I've done that on the last many products that I got, and it flattened out, and there was no value in this. For me at least, apart from tons of work. And so I thought I would do it a little bit different this time and actually show real life flight experience with the drone.
Yeah, well, but that's what people want to see, I think, because I think most of our viewers as well, they know that anything that comes out pretty much on launch day, obviously I didn't get that vibe from yourself actually, but most of it's just a sales pitch. You know, that's what it is. Whereas obviously, yes, it takes a couple of days later for people like me to get it, but you know that you're going to get an honest opinion. I mean, obviously the RC controller, when it first came out, the amount of people I told not to buy it, and I felt like, I'll still say it sometimes, that if I can get this out, this controller with a mobile phone, I still think that's a better overall package, because of course, look at mobile phones, they cost around £1,000. That's a 250 well, the RC's the £250 controller. Of course your mobile phone's a little bit more powerful, but I understand the convenience. I get that, but I'm not afraid to just give a slightly different viewpoint, and I just say it like it is. And I think from comments I get on my channel, people appreciate that.
But this is also how it's supposed to be. But you are in a bit of a, you would say, it's a challenge when you get a product like this.
Obligation.
So the way that I normally go about it is that I don't go and tell people to buy it. I simply just show what it can do. and then people can decide for themselves if they want to
That's
buy
also
it.
what I prefer to do as well. Yeah, indeed.
But of course, I also share my excitement when I'm excited about it. I also have tested the products here on the channel where I initially was very, very excited, but ended up, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you ever saw that video with this VTOL product I got from China.
That was a great one.
Man, that was a bad product.
It was just a rubbish product that kept breaking on you when you were trying to review it. And I remember us talking, and you said, I just have to send it back. Like, there was nothing I could do with this.
And they kept pushing me to do the review. Do the review. Say, I'm not really sure that you want me to do a review.
And the thing is as well, I mean, I do believe our channels, you know, yourself included, I think we have a degree of integrity, because people may look at my channel, if you are familiar with my channel, and go, well, you know, you focus on drones, you focus on this.
Post the link down here. If you post the link in.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you. But the thing is, what the viewers might not realize is my inbox is full, and I mean full, of people wanting me to test their products and do reviews and offer to pay me for it. But you know what, guys? I won't review a product unless I think I can. If it's not something I would buy with my own money, I will not make a video on it, even to the point where it might be detrimental to my channel, and maybe, you know, it could introduce new viewers to my channel by reviewing that product. If I won't buy it and I do not see value in it for you, I don't review it. I don't do it. Even when these companies are offering me money, I prefer to just stick to what I think I can add value in and give an honest opinion.
I think we might differ a little bit there, because I would be willing to take in products, at least because I'm not that saying that you aren't, but I'm very curious. And if they want to provide me with a product and they want to pay me to actually show it to my audience, of course, it should not be like a deodorant or something that's completely off. But if it's another drone brand than DJI, taking it in, you can't really judge if it's good or not unless you kind of test it.
A little bit of background behind that, because I did take on a challenge of another drone company. Obviously, I'm not going to mention who it is, but they're quite big on Amazon, if you wish. And I took the drone and reviewed it and compared the price point, and it was awful. It flew really badly. Obviously, the electronic image stabilization just didn't work. It only had a 2-axis gimbal, and you're just thinking, I can't tell somebody to buy this. Not when a Mavic Mini is £250. Do you know what I mean? I can't. So
but that's the risk that they're taking, and that's also in my conditions. If they send me the product, they have one revision. If there's something that's factual wrong, maybe I don't know, stated it's 1080p and it should have been 4K and they can fix stuff like that, but they are not entitled to mess around with my opinion about the product, and that's regardless if they paid or not.
Yeah, and I just thought, well, look, unless I can fully get behind, I always use it. You know, it's because I do something completely different now. Obviously, I have a day job. YouTube is just a hobby for me, and I want to help others. But in the past, I spent a lot of time in sales, and I just think, would I recommend this product to a family member? And if the answer is no, I won't review it, or I won't publish a video on it, because I think, well, I don't see the value.
Yeah. All right, we will get kicked out of the questions part here, so maybe you have a chance to see some of them. Oh, I can just put them on the screen, maybe. Yeah. So. All of this is more. So this one. If I'm really sure that the Air 2S will not get post-certification, of course, I don't know. I don't know what they are planning, but I don't think that they want to do that, especially not with the Air 3 out. Why should they put a lot of effort in that? They much rather want to sell you Air 3. and in regards to the Mini 3 Pro, that doesn't matter, because it's a sub 250 gram drone. So there's basically no difference if it's certified or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Also, Nano announced post-certification of their newest drones like Nano and Light. Okay, I haven't seen that.
Similar situation with the Nano, obviously. It's sub 249, so you can pretty much fly it wherever you want anyway.
Yeah. So, and yes, I'll see if I can finish that video until tomorrow. So, this is a funny one. That was actually a pretty crazy video that Ian from London made. You know, where he dropped his drone into the volcano. I don't know if you saw that.
I mean, it was a fitting end, wasn't it? I saw that video. Fair play to him.
Yeah, fair play. Absolutely. How bright is the screen? I think it's not. I think it's still 700 nits. I don't think it's brighter than just the other camera here. So I don't think it's brighter than what we are used to with the other RC, the old RC. You see, it's turned up the full brightness right now, so it's. I would assume this is the same. Apps onto the RC2, I don't think so. It's still this closed system that will not allow you to put anything on it. It was a bit different with the old controller. You could actually sneak something into the old horrible smart controller. That's a good example of a product that I was not happy with. And yeah, this was.
I think you showed that many times.
I did that maybe too many times. So this is with the sensor being a touch smaller than Air, would it mean less quality, or has the sensor technology caught up in space of 2 years? Yeah, someone would probably do a comparison. I don't have the Air 2S anymore, but what I can do is I can do it against a 1-inch sensor, Micro Four Thirds sensor of the Classic, and then you could basically see the difference. And my bet is if you're watching on a phone or a smaller screen, you will not be able to see any difference between these two.
I think this is one of the things that many people don't realize as well. I mean, yes, 4K is absolutely fantastic and it's excellent, and you get so much more detail. But unless you're blowing the image up on screens such as 46-inch or above, really, even 1080p is more than good enough for most people.
Yeah, it's actually the aperture, though, on 1.7 that's important. That's what will give you the performance in low light more than the sensor size. Yeah. So it's yeah, they should give the Mavic 3 Pro normal waypoints and hope they will eventually give it an update. I don't know. Does the Mavic 3 Pro or is it the Mini 3 Pro?
I'm guessing they mean the Mini 3 Pro.
Should have waypoints.
I completely agree. I think they could look after their customers and give the Mini 3 Pro waypoints.
Yeah, I know the argument is that it doesn't have side sensors to protect it, but hey, you're getting quick shots where it's zipping around sideways in most
master
of
shots.
the operations.
Yeah, master shots, quick
master shots, and all that.
Yeah.
So, so you need to keep an eye on the drone anyway. So it's yeah. So let's see. Margot has some wishes here. One of is a comparison video to see the drone in the exact same moment in the air, only slight different clouds in the sky. Yeah, I have done one of those where I had basically had the drones, all three of them in the at the same time.
Did I remember?
And then a lady came and yelled at me. That was in the parking lot. What I did there, she was kind of mad at me at that point. So, yeah. Så Ulf, welcome Ulf, velkommen. Jeg ved, du er ikke så glad for det der engelsk, at du skal bruge noget translate, men jeg har faktisk lavet en dansk anmeldelse til dig, som du kan tjekke ud på min danske dronekanal. So what I was just saying to Ulf has multiple times said that he's not that strong in English, and I actually published a Danish review this time. So I've done something different. I recorded a full 37-minute video with active track, with the camera comparison, lens compressions, all that stuff in Danish.
Yeah, why not?
I'm zipping around the windmills and having the drone follow me, and they almost went terribly wrong that test. So
nice.
I actually think the Danish video was better than the English one that I made, the English first flight. Yeah, of course, the Danish is not first flight anymore, but it's so definitely, Ulf, Jeg synes, du skulle tjekke den ud. Den er også postet i den danske dronegruppe, så du kan se den der. All right, let's grab one more here. Would you set the timeline in your editor as 24? Then it will go 4 times slow motion, 30, yeah. But the problem is right now, maybe that has changed with the update, is that the slow motion only comes in 100 and 200 FPS, which is kind of an odd number, especially if you're doing like a 30 FPS timeline. Then it doesn't add up. It also doesn't add up with 24. So you will have some sort of skipping if you do that, and it will not make it look nice. This is basically why I'm always recording in 30, because then if I had to use 120 FPS, which I prefer for slow motion recordings, then it nicely adds up, which it doesn't do with 25, which is the PAL standard here in Europe. So let's see. Sean here is here in the house. So Mini 2 is for its size a little beast. Have flown in, yeah, I saw that. That was a crazy video with snowstorms and everything. I think that was with Ready Set Drone and Ed Rigger. They met on a mountaintop, and this drone was really beaten up. So that's true. And also a comment to you, Gavin, that you said that the Mini 2 is obsolete. Actually, it's one of the few drones that are supported by drone links. I had a session the other day with a professional drone pilot that is actually using a drone link. And even though the Mini 3 Pro is supported with the RCN1 controller, it's still in beta, so it's not completely flawless. So if you want to fly drone link automated flights with a really cool piece of software, then you need to go down to the Mini 2.
Yeah, just to clarify that, just so we're clear for all those Mini 2 fans out there, I don't personally think the Mini 2 is obsolete. I still think it's a great drone. But if you look at a lot of retailers now, Amazon, especially in the UK anyway, and indeed the DJI website, they're now just showing the Mini 2 is out of stock. So I think from that point of view, they're starting to treat it as sort of end of its life, really. I still think it's a great drone. I still like to look after my Mini 2 viewers and still include the Mini 2 in reviews.
And also remember that you get access to all the third-party apps like Maven and Litchi and all that stuff with this drone,
absolutely,
which you don't get with the new one.
No, so indeed. I mean, yeah, I do appreciate the Mini 3 Pro has got active track and it's got some of the features, of course, you would want from the third-party apps, but still, the Mini 2 is really, really good with that software. I think you've covered Rainbow quite extensively, didn't you?
Yeah, the Rainbow app, not extensively, but I have covered it. It's not the best of them. I think my favorite is the Maven app. I think that has some pretty unique.
That was it, Maven. Sorry. Yes, sorry.
Yeah. The Rainbow app is a Chinese Litchi knockoff. It's not that impressive, actually. Okay, so now it's done with the firmware update. So
that took its time.
that took a little bit of time here. Yeah, I can't see how it could enable the 48 megapixel photos. So it's like that's still the same menu. Yeah, I guess I need to mess around with that. At least I can see that the map shows that I'm not in Africa, but it shows Africa. All right, let's continue a little bit with the questions here. Some leaks are maybe planned. I don't know what that means.
Oh, I think all the leaks are planned. I think all of them are. I think there's no such thing as, especially some of the ones that appear in, is it Costco about in the US when they end up on the shelves?
Yeah.
I think that's deliberate. Yeah. That's all really. I think it's fantastic marketing. It raises hype. At the end of the day, DJI or any big brand want people to be talking about their product. It raises excitement. So yeah, I don't think the leaks. I don't think these leaks are accidental. I think it's all planned.
Yeah, you're probably right. Not that I know that for sure, but it's some of them seems a little bit too obvious.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first one that I leaked about a month ago. The video was that bad, right? you're like, you couldn't possibly in this modern day make a video with that poor quality. So it was clear that it was just designed to like look bad. But oh my god, look at it! It's the Air 3. You're like, Christ, even the most basic mobile phone would have a better picture quality than that. So yeah, I think it's all deliberate.
There's an Icelandic drone pilot who made extremely impressive footage from the volcano. I got in touch with DJI and they didn't even answer his request. Yeah, but that's how it is. You need to get in front of the right people at the right time. Otherwise, you won't have a chance to work with them. Mavic 3, yeah, of course. If you already have that drone, there's no reason to go for an upgrade unless you have experiencing problems with the connection or stuff like that. So let's see. Goggles 2 Integra work with Air 3. I have no idea. I don't think so. Not out of the box. This was something that was added later for some of the other drones. I can't answer this. So Sean says it looks like 1,500 for the Fly More with the new remote. That's probably right. About right. I don't know what you paid for yours. Which combo did you end up getting?
I think mine was £1,379 GBP. So yeah, about right for 1,500. Yeah, obviously I went for the combo because obviously I need all the bits. So
another question about the goggles. We can't answer that. Maybe we can find out. Yeah, I have waypoints on Mini 2 with Litchi, correct?
And it still works perfectly fine, Litchi with Mini 2 and waypoints, absolutely.
It's a little bit rough, I would say.
Yeah, but it does the job. I mean, at the end of the day, the chances are, if you're using, obviously, as I've always said, the drone is a tool. It's a flying camera. So yes, you've got it doing these waypoints, but if you're producing video, the chances are you're not going to have a clip of one particular piece of footage more than sort of 5, 6, 7 seconds anyway. So even if you've just got a section of that and you're using a couple of different sections, it doesn't have to be perfect, as long as you're getting footage that you want. Nobody's going to anticipate, no one's going to get, you're not looking for a full cinematic video using Litchi waypoints. You're just going to pick up little bits of it and use something with it. And I think it does the job perfectly fine, really, for that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's fun to play around with at least.
It's interesting when you are making a video and, you maybe record 30 minutes worth of footage and B-roll and you ended up using 2.5 minutes of it. It's crazy.
So Marco has done the same thing. Air 2 and Mini 3 Pro in the air at the same time. The craziest event where I had 2 drones in the air at the same time was a demolition. So I was hired to film a demolition where like a staircase tower needed to be brought down. So I had the Mavic Air and the Mavic Pro, I think the original ones. I had both of those positioned in the air at the same time. But it was inside we were inside the fence basically, so away from the public and or like a flat area. So but I'm not sure it was 100% legal, but that's many years ago. Yeah, I don't know pastries from any other places, but at least I can confirm that pastries from Denmark are pretty awesome.
Never tried.
You should at some point. So let's see. Master Air Screw is recommended here. So Master Air Screw is recommended highly if you want the very best in props for your drone. I haven't tried them. Did you? By the way, did you see the picture that I posted of this the propeller that broke on my Mini 3 Pro? That was insane.
Did I see that?
That was pretty weird. It was I was visiting my father, and he asked me if we had to cut down a big tree. So he said, "Why don't you put up the drone and let it film this when you
wasn't
cut it
supposed
down?"
to use the drone, Henrik.
so I guess so I launched the drone, and then it started to do like this. then it went down. Then I took it up, and then the prop was it was basically broken clean off. It was not like if you could imagine that the prop had been bent, it'd be like a white on the sides where the plastic was sort of stressed. Nothing. It was clean break.
Very odd.
Imagine if that happened over water.
Yeah. So, don't fancy that.
Yeah, so that was crazy. We might do a video about that. I still have the parts, so I could do a video about that, talking about that part. But do you need an extra battery for the Air 3? Yeah, I think that would probably be a good idea, even though that it flies for a really, really long time. At least it feels like it flies for a very, very long time. Then I would definitely recommend to pick up an extra battery.
At least one, because you never know. You might get on location and there might be some sort of update, and those can kill batteries, and there might be an opportunity that
I had like under rough conditions, I had 27 minutes on one battery.
Yeah, which in those sort of conditions is pretty good
plus minus. So I would prefer, at least if I was going to a job where I needed to get the job done, I would like to have an extra battery. Definitely. So are we talking OcuSync 4? Yeah. Yeah, we talked a little bit about OcuSync 4 and how it increases the coverage and it adds more. There's more antennas on the remote. Oh, my phone dies up there. There's more antennas on the remote. It does increase the range. I think up to 20 kilometers in the US. I don't know what you would use that for.
Or have the battery life to get there.
Exactly. So let's see here. Yet more telemetry system. I really hope these new controllers are backward compatible with the other drones. Yeah, I think they are. At least the ones where you can use the DJI RC, you can also use the RC2 and the other way around. I actually don't know if you can use the RC with OcuSync 4. Maybe I need to try that at some point. Let's see. Yeah. It's always allowed to hope.
Yep.
And then that's one that pulls in the other direction. That it will be a legacy drone for sure. And I would not say yes or no to this because I haven't tried it, but it's actually a good question if it is, because I could imagine many would consider upgrading for this, at least just to get the directional antennas. The original DJI RC is a little bit weak. If you're not pointing it directly towards the drone, it can drop out, at least to my experience. All right, I think we made it all the way through here. Anything else we need to cover today?
Yeah, just a quick one, actually. Obviously, anybody that's watching this not live and late and is at this point of the video, don't write it in the chat. Obviously, that will be closed soon. But in the comment section to this video or this live stream, just let us know what you want to see, or any queries or questions you may have, and what you want us to test. Because whether I do it or whether Henrik does it, we want to bring you the content that you is basically going to give you the information to decide whether you want to buy one or not, or even the opposite way. Even if we put it up against the drone and you think, well, actually, I'm currently happy with the drone I've got and I don't really see any benefit. That's what our channels are about, really. But let us know what you want us to test in the comment section below.
And I will also add your channel link in the description.
I expect 1 million subscribers by tea time. I could use some of yours.
All right, so I think I will say that's it, unless there's anything else we need to cover. But again, it's a good idea what you suggested there, Gavin. It's just drop in the comments whatever you want to see, and then the both of us will do our best to see if we can make videos that will satisfy the wishes of the subscribers or the viewers.
Absolutely. If you want to see it, we want to make it.
Yes. Thank you, Gavin, for joining today.
Pleasure.
And thank you very much for all of you that have been sort of watching along while we have been talking about this new drone from DJI, the DJI Air 3. Take care and see you on the next video.